I know what you've been thinking, guys. Ethereum, Bitcoin, and everything is out of the bear market. We're about to head back towards all-time highs and beyond because we've had a couple of good green weeks. But something really, really alarming has just happened, and I think it could well be about to screw crypto even harder than you perhaps thought it might have been done already. Not guaranteed, guys, but what has really been going on as we approach back into this area here, and we will look at the chart in just a moment. I want to talk about something else, and that's inflation, guys. We heard everyone like Max Kaiser, etc., being like, oh, you know, inflation is going crazy, Bitcoin's the only place to keep your money, and that's true. Inflation is going crazy. Right now, crypto is not necessarily the only place to keep your money, for sure, because when inflation's been crazy, and it has been way bigger than people anticipated, then the interest rates have to go up as well. And on the 27th of July, the interest rates are going to go up. And previously there was thought to be around a 7% chance that it was going to be 100 basis points later this month. However, now because suddenly the inflation numbers are so much bigger than everyone anticipated, you're now looking at, instead of just 7%, an 80% chance of that happening. Well, before that news hits about whether it's going to be 100 basis points or not, most likely it is, they will start to factor that into prices. We are likely to see prices fall towards the 27th of July in crypto, in stocks, in basically everything, because interest rates are going to be uncertainty. Because higher interest rates mean that people don't want to be in risky assets, and crypto, guys, is a risky asset. Now, looking at Ethereum, we did talk about this the other day. We had this pink supply box up here, guys, which I said was nice. Previous support here as well. Previous support turns into, guess what? Resistance, and we are starting to show nice old bit of resistance here on the weekly chart. Jumping into a 4-hour, it's looking even more interesting. So the other day I talked about this in here, and I would have brought you more updates, but I had COVID and I felt awful. We had a breakout, guys. Nice juicy breakout, retest, and shot all the way up. Down from this sort of area at the bottom, we had a nice push. Something like 61%, which we have not seen in crypto for a very, very long time. But you can see perfectly across, I did mention that this area here was likely a little bit of a consolidation zone before the previous sell-off, that we would probably come and revisit that before having another sell-off. Looking into where we've got this big old juicy supply zone here, guys, we've got something else that's lining up. I did say previously, when we have both a bit of technical analysis lining up with supply and demand, then we get some nice potential setups. Now, obviously, I'm bullish on Ethereum longer term, but right now, it's hard to be particularly bullish in light of the news that's just been announced. I think we are going to have a push up into this sort of area over the next couple of days, but unless, guys, we are breaching this area, as I said, unless we're breaching here, pushing beyond and having a good, solid flipping of previous resistance and turning it into support, which means having closes, multiple closes of like 4-hour charts or above, looking around the sort of $1,750 to around like the $1,850 level, things are looking a bit worrying, okay? As we push up in these little channels like this, we do tend to weaken. They do tend to start showing weakness up here. You can see we're probably going to do something like this, and if we're unable to break through, we will more than likely roll over and be coming down into this zone at the very least, right? Now, this does feel a bit like some sort of a liquidity grab. What that basically means, guys, is we had like, you know, this kind of the top here is then pushed beyond that. It's exciting people, it's getting them really excited, thinking that they're going to be able to buy into the market. There's going to be potentially another big old juicy sell-off, and then a bigger dump towards the downside. Now, that's all dependent really on what's going on with the interest rates. Now, obviously, things are starting to factor in that 100 basis point rise in other things, and that was basically what was responsible for this kind of like bigger couple of wicks towards the downside here. But we are showing that actually crypto's a bit weird and it's still much less institutionally driven than other assets, but there's definitely institutions in the game, and for sure they are manipulating prices, etc. So, you know, as I've said in the past, people want, you know, institutions and stuff to get into the game because they're kind of just having single lens glasses on, where loads of institutions are going to come in and chuck money at crypto, and they probably will, and that will mean that potentially you can get very rich if you are lucky enough to make the right decisions. But they are going to definitely start playing games with you and making you make decisions that I guarantee you'll probably end up regretting afterwards. If you don't want to regret making decisions afterwards, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and I'll do my best to give you the most realistic updates of what I see happening in crypto right now, guys. So jumping across to Bitcoin before we head into Ethereum, yeah, we had that big old push in Ethereum, but we haven't seen it really in Bitcoin. This, as I said, a bit of TA for us here, guys. We have a juicy falling wedge here, and then this is sort of our supply zone, but we do have potential that right now we are getting rejected at this level. Okay, doesn't look too good. See above, guys, every time it gets rejected into these zones, you've got these like little bars across, another one here, and then we have these kind of like rips, right? If we're not going to be breaking through this upper trend line, then we are just going to continue to fall towards the next consolidation line. More than likely just going to stay in this falling wedge. And I think absolute worst case, we will be having like another leg down, which could well see Bitcoin have an absolutely horrendous drop to around 10K. But I'm not saying that that's going to be particularly long-lived. I could anticipate some sort of a bounce coming like that. Let's see what's going to happen. Bitcoin moves, obviously Ethereum moves. Ethereum actually has been dragging Bitcoin around the last couple of days, which is very interesting to see. Bitcoin obviously still will be the one that drives what's going on with Ethereum. And Bitcoin will definitely take a bit of a hit if 100 basis points does get announced, and there hasn't been too much of an adjustment beforehand, so it's definitely worth paying attention leading up towards the 17th of July. If we have not seen a much slippage before the 17th of July and 100 basis points gets announced, I will think that we are going to see a big drop in crypto. And if we do sort of like ease into it where we are kind of like seeing a bit of a drop off before the 27th of July and then arrive on the 27th of July, and for some reason they announce like a 70 basis point move on interest rates, then maybe, just maybe, we could see the flip reverse of that happening, where we could suddenly see the big surge of volume that we didn't have today. And that for me would start to trigger a nice crypto bull run. Being a bit pessimistic like now, let's see what happens over the next week or so. Right now, we are waiting to see exactly what's going to go on with Bitcoin. We're waiting for a big bit of volume, which will probably need some piece of news, some Elon Musk move or something like that to really drive Bitcoin out of this pattern. If it doesn't do that, then we're just going to sort of slowly slide and trickle, I think, until the 27th and some sort of decision is made, but no one's going to be really doing much, I think, before then. Guys, hope you enjoyed that video. Please smash the thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, because today's video was a lot of effort to make because I feel horrendous. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to be kept up to date with all of the latest happening in Ethereum and other cryptos. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye-bye.